What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy and welcome to another video on the channel. Today guys, we're going to be doing a more chill video today. We're going to be covering a interview that happened a couple of days ago, I believe, with Yoko Shimomura, the series composer, via Facebook Live. She did a little Q&A about kind of Melody of Memory and her work on the Kingdom Hearts music over the years. It's a short little interview, way shorter than the interviews I normally cover, though some of the answers could be a little bit lengthy, so that might make up for it. But we're just going to go ahead and get right into it and see what Yoko has to say. Was there a moment when you decided you wanted to pursue making music for games? Yes, simply put, I had a love for music ever since I was small, and at the same time, games became one of my biggest hobbies. I thought of a job that could use both games and music. Being a game music composer is the perfect job for me. Which musicians, past or present, inspire you and why? I have many composers who I dearly love, but my number ones would be Chopin and Rachmaninoff. I don't know if I said that right. People who have listened to my music can probably see the influence I've gotten from both of those composers. If you could play one song of yours for someone who had never heard of Kingdom Hearts, what song would it be and why? It's really hard for me to choose one, but if I must, it would be the title song, Dearly Beloved. It is the title song, and it has also been a song that has been with the series since the very beginning. I think it is one of the most iconic songs. That's why I would choose Dearly Beloved. Yeah, Dearly Beloved is just a classic song that honestly most people in the gaming world know, period. That, along with some of the opening songs like Simple and Clean and Sanctuary, are things that are very recognizable for the Kingdom Hearts series, and I would say like got it a lot of its popularity. The Kingdom Hearts series is already great in terms of the story, its original concept, but Yoko Shimomura actually like brings it together so well with the music. And honestly, I believe, and I've realized this as I've watched like more and more animes, shows, games, especially realizing this as I got older, some of my favorite animes are like more so on the musical sense, like Your Lie in April, Carol and Tuesday, for example. And I kind of just realized how music just sets the tone for so many scenes, and it adds so much. Like, some people don't realize like how much music can impact a moment in a game or in a show or a movie during pivotal moments like death scenes or moments of triumph, or setting the mood for like a town you're in, a wilderness you're exploring, sound effects for like when you're scrolling through the menu or hitting enemies with like a keyblade or a sword or something. It all like adds so much to these worlds and brings life to them. And honestly, I dare say that in a lot of games and a lot of movies, a lot of shows, they might not be as good as they are if they didn't have as good music. Now, music for every game doesn't have to be like crazy like how Yoko Shimomura has it for Kingdom Hearts. Sometimes something that just fits the theme is perfectly fine, but when composers do kind of go above and beyond, it just makes like scenes that much better and make them hit like way harder than they originally would have without music. I mean, there's some scenes in Kingdom Hearts 3 that I feel like would have been a lot better if they had like music behind them. Like, for example, that scene when everyone, you know, got washed by the demon tide and Riku was like the one standing up to fight against it while everyone else was kind of just like in a hopeless state, and Sora went down on his knees just crying, just ready to give up completely. And a lot of people agree that like that scene would have been a lot better. As good as it already was, it would have been a lot better, and it would have hit a lot harder, would have been a lot more memorable if it had some music behind it. I saw some people simply just putting Riku's theme over that cutscene, and it just fit like so much and had a certain tone to it that I just loved. But there are some situations where no music is okay. I don't think that was one of them, but sometimes having no music in the background can also be like perfect for a scene and set the tone, make something like super impactful or more realistic. But I don't know if I'm explaining it like super properly. I'm not like the most analytical when it comes to music, but what I do know, what I do feel is that music really shapes a lot of scenes that we love in media, and it definitely matters. So Yoko Shimomura, although she's the series composer, she's a big reason why the Kingdom Hearts series is as good as it is in general. And honestly speaking, it's hard to imagine the series without some of her music, because the standard she set for Kingdom Hearts music going forward. But moving along though, you've been working on the series for almost 20 years, Shimomura-san. How has this experience influenced you as a composer? While working on Kingdom Hearts, I know that many fans that like the series, like my music, and all of you fans, your voices, your comments, they really cheer me up at times in my personal life when I have some hardships to overcome. Your voices always help in cheering me up, and it really motivates me to always proceed forward. So I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all my fans who love my music. Who is your favorite Kingdom Hearts character? So I have to choose again. If I have to choose my favorite character, as I have been saying from interviews in my early stages, it would be Riku, but I do love all of the characters. Okay, so Shimomura is a Riku stan, got it. Dearly Beloved is one of the most important pieces in the entire series. When you are tasked with composing for a new game, how do you come back to this theme and go at it with a new approach each time? I always think about what to do for each and every version, each and every game, and so I try to think fresh and new. So for example, for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, I would have this image, and for Kingdom Hearts 3, I would have this image. So I would have my own personal image first. I will build my image first, then next I would clear out my mind and try to cultivate all the images of the game I'm working on within me and to let it all out. That is what I do. The insight into how Shimomura makes like those masterpieces that are dearly beloved in each new game. I think that's something that I love so much about Kingdom Hearts. I mean, like, some games do this, but I feel like you could very easily get away with just using the Kingdom Hearts 1 dearly beloved for every single Kingdom Hearts game. But no, instead, she goes out of her way, or I don't know if it's on her like own accord or if it's on Nomura's, but despite that, the series, like the people working on the series, go out of their way and do a new dearly beloved for each Kingdom Hearts game, and it's so beautiful. Some sound more similar than others, but all of them are different in one way or another. I think my favorite dearly beloved is, it's kind of hard to pick, but I would probably say my some of my favorites at least would probably be Days. Key back cover has a really good dearly beloved. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3, those are some of my favorites, but honestly, one that's rising up there for me is Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories dearly beloved is very underrated. I say underrated, but like it's more so just because it's not talked about much. That's what makes it underrated, but they're all just so good, and I really love that they like go out of their way and make new dearly beloveds for each new iteration of Kingdom Hearts, because like I said, they could easily get away with like playing that same Kingdom Hearts 1 dearly beloved for 20 years and we probably wouldn't mind at all, because like it's still a good song, but they make a new one and it's beautiful. I'll never forget when I first heard Dearly Beloved as a kid, and then when I first heard Kingdom Hearts 3's Dearly Beloved a couple of years ago, it was so surreal, man. Which battle soundtrack was your favorite to compose and why? I always get so pumped up for boss battles listening to the music, so I have to choose again. It's really hard for me to choose the best battle song because I have put all my emotions into all the songs, but if I have to choose one, it will be Xion's Vector to the Heavens. Yes, this is because a lot of fans say that this is their favorite song. This is my favorite song. I'm one of those people. People tell me that it really moves their hearts and it really makes them cry. I'm really happy that all my fans think that way, and because it is my fans' favorite, I'm going to have to go with Vector to the Heavens. Vector to the Heavens, actually, I still think is the best Kingdom Hearts song. How did you manage to create new themes for Disney worlds that already had iconic soundtracks? Was it not difficult to create new themes that differ from the original movie soundtracks? The fact is, I have been a big fan of Disney music and the world of Disney ever since I was small. Even the new movies, the new atmosphere, and the worlds I adore. But if I listen to the music too much, it will be very similar. I will get too much influence from the music itself, so as I said with Dearly Beloved, what I try to do is have a lot of input regardless of genre, watching movies, listening to the music, and to fill myself up with a lot of inspirations. Then to think of the image for Kingdom Hearts and to let my image, everything I have to put into myself, flow out. Yes, it is very hard at times, but the creation process is really a joy for me. I think something that I'm loving about this interview is Shimomura like really comes off as someone who's incredibly passionate about the music that she creates. And most importantly, it sounds like she's like having a lot of fun. I guess it's refreshing to hear because we get so many stories coming out of the gaming industry, out of Japan, talking about how overworked some like developers, designers, composers like feel. And you kind of get the impression that they don't enjoy their work as much as they kind of used to. So it's really nice to see that passion and see that it's still fun for someone out there. But Vector to the Heavens is just, that is a masterpiece of a song. That's probably one of my favorite gaming songs ever. Might be my favorite gaming song ever. I'll never forget when I heard that Other Promise and Vector to the Heavens like mashup they did for the Psyx boss and Keyblade Graveyard in KH3. That moment when I heard that song, I stood still for a minute and let Roxas do all the work, and I was just like, bro, they made this. I can't believe they made this. Like, it was so beautiful, dude. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. All right, this next question is really long, but we're going to just do this one question, then talk, then do the last two. You have picked 10 songs from the new Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack. Can you tell us a bit about each of them? Dearly Beloved, Kingdom Hearts 3 version. As I have been explaining throughout this session, it is the title iconic song. It's a song that's played on the title screen, so I think it is very iconic, and it is currently the latest version of Dearly Beloved. Toy Box Jam. My image for Kingdom Hearts is filled with bright and fun battle music, so that is why I chose the Toy Box Jam. I'm going to assume that's Toy Story's battle music. Monstropolis Now. It's a fun song with a little bit of a comical touch, and you get the image of monsters waddling and walking, so that is why I chose this fun number. Frozen Wonderland. At first I thought I might have a bit of a hard time thinking of a tune because of the image of Frozen being so big, but once I started working on it, it was pretty easy. The image of ice and snow, I think I was able to put that image into the song, and since the Northern Hemisphere is entering the season of winter, I thought this tune would be perfect. No Surrender. This is one of the boss songs, and the composer who I worked with, Mr. Ishimoto, worked on most of the boss songs. I wrote 2 boss songs within this game, so that is why I chose this 5th song. Stranded Beyond. This is a lonely, melancholy tune with the image of heading towards the end. This is the 6th number I chose. Scala at Kylum. This wasn't first introduced in Kingdom Hearts 3. It was introduced earlier, but for me personally, I really felt the flow and fade that this tune is recurring again. This is an atmosphere that I can't explain with words. I really like the atmosphere that this tune is trying to express. That is why I chose this 7th number, Scala at Kylum. Edge of Existence. It's a battle song, but it's not so heavy and not so drastic. It really conveys the feeling of moving towards the end. The feeling of, yes, it's entering the last phase is really expressed in this number. So again, this is a nuance I can't explain with words, but I really like the atmosphere this tune is trying to express. Nachtflügel. I don't know if I'm saying this right. This is a new piece I wrote for Remind's DLC. This is the secret boss theme, by the way. This is a very piano concerto-ish piece in which I had challenged myself. And the last one, Wave of Darkness 1, I decided to choose numbers from every disc, and this is a song from Kingdom Hearts 2.8. I have really fond memories of this number because I was blessed with the opportunity to play it live with the orchestra with a music video playing in the background. So I really have good memories with this, and also because it's from Kingdom Hearts 2.8. I have this image that this tune is kind of a bridge that goes across to Kingdom Hearts 3. That is why this is a very dear tune for me. Whew, none much to say about that one, to be honest. I know some of you probably aren't as familiar with the new names for these songs in Kingdom Hearts 3. We've been using like community names for so long, but for the Scala at Kylum theme, I do not believe she was talking about the Scala at Kylum battle theme that we're all used to, but rather the one that is in key back cover, the Cases of the Foretellers theme that was dubbed by the community. This is actually my first time knowing that that theme is now officially called Scala at Kylum, which is very interesting indeed. That's all I can really say about that. Maybe I'll elaborate later, but that's really interesting. But let's move on to the last 2 questions I would like to ask Shimomura-san for her comments regarding this digital release to the whole world. It's really a great honor for me that such vast amounts of my music are being released digitally worldwide at the same time. It means a lot that all of you fans can have access to all of my music at the same time. I'm very honored and I'm happy that many fans will be able to listen to my music that will be digitally released. I don't think this can happen all the time. Digitally released, global, at once, I'm very, very honored. Could you give a message to the fans watching about this exciting digital release? Thank you very much for this. I have to apologize that I kept you fans waiting after the release of the game itself, but it is very high in volume with a lot of songs, not only from Kingdom Hearts 3, but also from the DLC, and also the numerous music pieces from games that had not yet received a soundtrack are all included in this digital release. Lots of music means lots of time for you to listen, but I sincerely hope you take your time to listen to my beloved music, and to also spend your time finding your favorite song from this track. And that is the end of the Facebook Q&A with Yoko Shimomura. I remember when I first saw that they were doing this, I was extremely surprised, and I was tempted to stream it at one point, but I decided not to because I was too busy with the moving situation, which, by the way, guys, I am all settled in, moved in right now. This month, November, is going to be a pretty big month for the channel. There's a lot of ambitious goals that I have, things I'm going to be trying to do, and I cannot wait to see some of you guys react to the content that I have in store. Lots of collabs, lots of big projects, and lots of updates on past projects that I haven't talked about in a little while. But once again, I'm going to reiterate this that I said at the beginning of the video. Yoko Shimomura is a big reason why the Kingdom Hearts series is as good as it is. One of the first things you hear come out of someone's mouth when they're talking about the Kingdom Hearts series, praising it, is about how great, how beautiful the music is. Yoko Shimomura is the reason why people are so hyped about a rhythm game. Yes, it has some story in it as well, but like, people have been begging for a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game for so long because her music is so magnificent, and people really want to be able to play along to it. It's nice to see that Yoko Shimomura is still very passionate about her music, is still having fun with her music, and I really hope she's doing well during this pandemic that we're all in, because I know it's hard to like work on just anything during this time. Hopefully things get better going forward though. I'll be sure to work my hardest and make content for you guys, make as much content as I possibly can to give you guys some relaxing time during this pandemic. Some you can chill, relax, you put on your TV, your monitor, your phone, whatever. Just chill and have some fun. Same thing going for the live streams. I really hope you all are doing well, but if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red little subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon.